the words. Ashish Prabhu is coming.
Oh, he's coming.
Do you know how to sing it?
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Madhura mridang
Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Bahu Koti Chandra Jini Vadana Ujwala Gala Deshe Banamala Kore Jhalamala Shiva Sukha Narada Reme Gada Gada Kati Vinoda Dekhe Gaurara Sampada Kiva Jayo Jayo Gaura Chandre Arati Ko Shobha Jayo Jayo Gaura Chandre Arati Ko Shobha Jayo Gaura Chandre Arati Ko Shobha Jana Vitata Vane Jaga Manalobha Gaurangeya Ratik Shobha Jaga Jana Manalobha Shobha Jaga Jana Mana Lobha Jana Mana Lobha Jaga Jana Mana Lobha Jaga Jana Mana Lobha Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine Namaste Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivedanta Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivedanta Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Bhaktivedanta Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivedanta Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivedanta Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivedanta Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivedanta Jaya Gaur Bhaktivedanta Jaya Gaur Bhaktivedanta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama, Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Bol, 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 Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari, Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Bol, 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 Jai Jai Radha Raman, Jai Jai Radha Raman, Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Bol, 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 जय जय राधा रमन हरि बोल, 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 जय जय Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Rama 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 Rama, Jayo Radha Gokula Nanda Radha Gokula Nanda Radha Gokula Nanda Shri Radhe, Radha Gokula Nanda Radha Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman, Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman, Jayo Gaura Nitai, 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 Jayo Radha Raman Radha Raman Radha Raman Shri Radhe, Jayo Radha Raman Jayo Radha Raman Radha Raman Radha Raman Shri Radhe, Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Jayo Prabhupada, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nita Gaura Hari Bol.
Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Swami Prabhupada ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki, Namacharya Shila Haridas Thakur ki, Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki, Jai Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan ki, Vrindavan Dham ki, Mayapur Dham ki, Jagannath Kshetra Dham ki, Ganga Mai ki, Yamuna Mai ki, Tulsi Maharani ki, Harinam Sankirtan Yagya ki, Samaveda Bhaktivinoda ki, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Simhamadim Sharanam Prapade. Takara Kamala Varanaka Adbhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Dhanabringam Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Nrsimhadev Bhagavan ki, Prahlad Maharaj ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanand.
Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone. So today, we want for one more Bhagavad Gita as it is. Srila Prabhupada was mentioning that we should actually always study Bhagavad Gita, and doesn't matter how long you are in the process, you will always find such a nourishing information from the Bhagavad Gita. So I'm really happy to have this opportunity to serve you and serve myself as well, to purify myself, to speak something, and I hope it will actually be useful for everyone, especially for me. I know that it will. And that, yeah, let's go for it. Let's serve Krishna and be enlightened. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jayo Girivari Jayo Gopi Jana Vallabha Jayo Girivari Jayo Yashodandana Jayo Vrajajana Rajana Jayo Yashodanandana Jayo Vrajajana Rajana Jayo Yamuna Tiravanachari Jayo Kunjabihari Jayo Yamuna Tiravanachari Jayo Kunjabihari Jayo Radha Madhava Jayo Kunjabihari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunjabihari Gaura Premanande Hari 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 Bo. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Agrana Timirandasya Ganajana Shalakaya Chakshu Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Shri Krishna Shamo Vishtam Svapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupam Kananmaya Bananti Svapanatnigam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Udapala Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Scham Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijanam Sahita Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakambitam Scham He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radha Vindavaneshwari Vishravano Sutadevi Puranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpaturvyascha Kripasenyo Bevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So today we are continuing with the fourth chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, and the fourth chapter is called Transcendental Knowledge. Yes, Transcendental Knowledge. I'll just copy this here. So we are on the verse number 3. Krishna is speaking about who he have spoken this to. And just before Arjuna starts to question, well, how did you say this to the son Vivasyan? How did you say this, because it was much before us? Well, this is this verse. You can repeat after me, or actually let's do it together. Saeva yamaya tedyam Saev yamaya tedyam Yoga prakta puratana Bhaktasi me sahacheti Rahashyam hi eta uttama Rahashyate uttama Etaduttama Saevayam mayatedyam Yoga prakrita puratana Bhaktosi me sakacheti Rahasyam hi etaduttamam. Word by word. Sa, the same. Eva, certainly. I am this. Maya, by me. Maya. Te, unto you. Adya, today. Yoga, the science of yoga. Prokta, spoken. Puratana, very old. Bhakta, devotee. Asi, you are. Me, my. Saka, friend. Cha, also. Iti, therefore. Rahasyam, mystery. He, certainly. Etat, this. Uttamam, transcendental. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. That very ancient science of the relationship with the Supreme is today told by me to you, because you are my devotee as well as my friend, and can therefore understand the transcendental mysteries of this science. Purport. There are two classes of men, namely the devotees and the demon. The Lord selected Arjuna as the recipient of this great science owing to his being a devotee of the Lord. But for the demon, it is not possible to understand this great mysterious science. There are numbers of editions of this great book of knowledge. Some of them have commentaries by the devotees, and some of them have commentaries by the demons. Commentation, yes, by the devotees is real, whereas that of the demons is useless. Arjuna accepts Sri Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and any commentary on the Gita following the footsteps of Arjuna is real devotional service. Is real devotional service to the cause of this great science. The demonic, however, do not accept Lord Krishna as he is. Instead, they concoct something about Krishna and mislead general readers from the path of Krishna instructions. Here is a warning about such misleading paths. One should try to follow the disciplic succession from Arjuna and thus be benefited by this great science of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation again. That very ancient science of the relationship with the Supreme is today told by me to you, because you are my devotee as well as my friend, and can therefore understand the transcendental mysteries of this science. So, what I took from this is really interesting, how actually Krishna, I think it's like a special moment where Krishna is actually speaking to Arjuna, how he is acknowledging his friendship with him. He is acknowledging him as a devotee as well. So, one thing that I was actually thinking in this regard, how Krishna is, saying, oh, you are my friend, you are my devotee. So, in generally, what I took from this sentence that this science of relationship with Krishna is understandable to us only if we are devoted and friendly to Krishna. So maybe you can ask okay, if you're not devoted or friendly to Krishna, then what you are? What we are then? And I guess that, they're constantly actually repeating how we are envious towards Krishna. And that's why we are not friendly. I mean, we can reflect even in our relationships, isn't it? If, how much we can be friendly towards someone that we are envious of. But then actually we also had experience where somebody can be maybe far better in some aspects of our lives. He can be much better father, businessman, he can be much successful in things. But they're friends and we are actually great. We are grateful and happy for them. Isn't it? And this is what actually acharyas also say. I just took I took one actually sentence from Srila Prabhupada. This is from the Raja Vidya, the King of the Knowledge book from Srila Prabhupada. He spoke about also comments on this verse. Of all people, why did Sri Krishna selected Arjuna as the recipient of this knowledge? It's interesting, isn't it? That point of time, there were lots of yogis and rishis there. They really, great scholars, great mystic, really disciplined. So why did Krishna choose Arjuna, which was actually a warrior, king, maybe nothing, looking in Varnashram way and in this social order, maybe nothing special. Why did Krishna choose Arjuna to speak this super secret science? This is what Srila Prabhupada also mentions. Arjuna was not a great scholar at all. Nor was he a yogi. Nor was he a meditator or even a holy man. He was not even a holy man. He was a warrior about to engage in battle. There are many great sages living at the time. Many great sages living at the time. And Sri Krishna could have gave Bhagavad Gita to them. Isn't it? It's if you want to educate, brahmanas educate, saintly people educate. So you give them knowledge to them. Isn't that logical? Isn't that wait a second? Yeah, actually that's right. But no, he gave it to Arjuna, which was a warrior. Isn't that interesting? So Srila Prabhupada continues. The answer is that despite being an ordinary man, Arjuna had one great qualification. Bhaktosime Sakha Cheti. You are my devotee and my friend. So it's actually just like, let's stand for a moment. This science is about Krishna and how to develop relationship with Krishna. And who's better to receive this than a person who have developed it? You know, someone that has such intimate relationships. And Arjuna and Krishna, they were like sharing beds together. They were sharing stories together. They were doing Krishna came to what's the name of the kingdom Yudhishthir built? Indraprastha? Yeah. They came just to associate with Arjuna, and he stayed just to 1 month to just enjoy, and associate with Arjuna. Like how intimate that is, amazing. It's a little different. It's like when you think about Krishna's friends, you actually first thing you imagine is Gopas, right? But actually, Arjuna was also a really big friend, amazing friend. I guess in this, that Vrindavan Lila, but Dvaraka Lila. In a sense, isn't it? So it's an amazing story, Arjuna Ki Jai. So continuing, this was Arjuna's exceptional qualification, a qualification which the sages did not have. Arjuna knew that Krishna was the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore he surrendered himself unto him, accepting him as his spiritual master. Unless one is a devotee of Lord Krishna, he cannot possibly understand Bhagavad Gita. So Arjuna accepted Krishna without any envy. He's the Supreme. And this is actually interesting because Krishna is a person, isn't he? And, it's like maybe we can meet a person, we can, I heard that, George Harrison, even though he had such a big opulence and popularity, he was actually really humble and, really down to earth. So you came and speak to him, he was like, yeah, like you speak with any casual person. So in a sense, also Krishna is also a person, even though he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is like, source of all sources and but he's a person. And accepting and we actually admire that he is such an amazing person actually qualifies us to start being in relationship. Because nobody, they say that envious, from, the two biggest envious things are envious men and envious snakes, but envious snakes can actually be charmed by mantras, envious people can't. And I have to admit, I am envious so many times, unfortunately. I am not proud of it, but I'm also envious in my practice. And I'm dealing with it as well. Seeing that this is not useful, nor for the relationship with the devotees, nor with the relationship with, seniors or whatever, nor with Krishna as well. So yeah, and one way that I found actually how to be more accepting of myself, as if I don't accept myself and love myself in the sense that I admire what Krishna have given me and grateful that I can use in his service. And if we are not acknowledging this, and even if and anyway, look like feeling like a kind of a, we are acknowledged all the powers we have given, and it's said that actually in the scriptures that every soul is empowered with specific energy to serve Krishna. We are all empowered, And we should be grateful and be aware of these things that we are empowered. And always look, but always feel grateful and unworthy of that. We are acknowledging it, we are using it for Krishna service, and always feeling humbled about this. So in the sense, Krishna has these qualities, and this is what also Baladev Bhushan also says, is a great acharya, that the ancient yoga which should be spoken in the line of succession has been spoken today by me, a friend to you, who are very attached, Krishna is very attached to Arjuna. This is what Baladev Bhushan says. Who I'm very attached to you, Krishna says, and to you, a friend to me, who are very attached to me. So they are really attached to each other. Because you are my dear devotee, surrender unto me, and a friend, I have spoken to you, I have spoken to you, and none one else, since it is the most sacred and therefore should be concealed. So yeah, it's in it, like most biggest secrets we don't say to anyone, especially to envious people. We say it to our friends. So yeah, how to be friends with each other, huh? How can we also have deep relationship in our Vaishnava, in our community? This will actually impress others. If we have deep loving relationship with each other, this will impress so many people to join. So, this is interesting. They said that, deity worship is actually here so that we can learn how to love each other as well. Vaishnavati Chakravarti Thakur also spoke really interesting. In this verse, the Lord gives the reason for speaking his yoga to Arjuna. You are my devotee, my friend. Apart from these two reasons, he gives another reason for not speaking this to inferior people, and it is because it's secret. So Krishna consciousness, even though we are actually going around and chanting and distributing, we want people to come, we want people to join the movement. Going deeper into the movement is actually a sacred. The ninth offense to the holy name is to preach to the non-believers. So in the sense, you need to preach, but not intimate things. You want to first make people to acknowledge, accept Krishna before you start to speak about really, really intimate things of Krishna. So that's why this is said to a really dear friend to him, not to the brahmanas, not to the rishis, not to the mystics. So, I have 10 more minutes. And I hope there was some really nice points here. I was actually reflecting on what are the qualifications to become Krishna's friend. And actually, I couldn't find so many things about that, but I found something else. I found actually an article speaking about how Krishna is the best and original friend, and how actually, in which way Krishna is the best friend of all of us. And we can maybe reflect on it and actually be more aware of it and be more grateful how Krishna is actually the original and the best friend. So hopefully that after this we are going to acknowledge this more and want to actually build this relationship with Krishna in the mood of service. One is, the more we hear about God's unlimited qualities, the more we understand that nothing can satisfy like friendship with Him. We can reflect, thank you very much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Krishna Prabhu. So, we are speaking about how Krishna is our friend, and what are the qualities of Krishna that actually make Him our best friend and original friend. Because all of this friendship we are actually looking now, it is actually craving for this perfect relationship we have with Krishna. The way how we are searching for a perfect partner is actually this tendency to have this perfect relationship with Krishna that we had. So, and the more we actually, with devotion and love and with acceptance, hear about all these qualities of Krishna, we are actually attracted to him, to be his friend. That actually, wow, it's so nice to be a friend of such a person with so many qualities. The second point is, as our true friend, he exhibits his kindness upon us by allowing us to learn through our own experience the futility of our efforts, and he lovingly deflects our attention back to himself, the abode of all happiness. So, as a friend, he doesn't push us to do anything. He accepts us, what we are doing, but he never leaves us. So let's say if you have a friend and you're saying to him, I'm going to travel the world, I don't know, with a guitar or ukulele. So you can warn you, but if you see that you're determined, then, he would like to be here. How can I help you? What I can give you? Maybe I will give you a gift that will help you in your journeys. So, in a sense, this is what actually is saying, that he's allowing us to learn through our own experience, to our faiths, and he's always lovingly waiting so we can deflect on our attention. This we can actually start again giving attention to him. So, he's not like, oh, you left me away, it's like, he's lovingly. But if you're not, if you take it for granted, then, you will have some consequences. Because Lord Krishna is supreme pure, his friendship is never contaminated with the selfish motives that stain material relationships. In material world, everything is ultimately concerned with him or her own interest. So Vishal, so if I want to be your friend, it is because I can get Maha sweets from you every Tuesday. I can get, if I be good, then I can come to Vishal and say, oh, yo, how are you? So how these Maha sweets going around? Can you pass one sandesh without Ananta Gopal seeing it? And he's just beside this curtain, so listening to this. Sorry for that. Yeah, mischievous. The sandesh thieves. Yeah, sorry. So what is the Lord? Is the supremely pure. Krishna is supremely pure. It's really interesting, isn't it? So many times I found myself reflecting on my own conception of friendship, how I would develop my friendship, my limited, contaminated way of thinking in friendship. I actually think that Krishna is like that. And so many times I like, why is Krishna doing, why is this happening to me, why am I punished, or because Krishna is, angry at me and he's want to punish me. But actually this is my conception, because maybe if someone did something to me, I would punish him. And that's why reading all these literatures is so important, because we see a totally different way. We see examples of people that are acting in such a different ways that totally destroys our boundaries of our own contaminated, contaminated way of thinking. So he is always selfless. So let me just read this one. So I was reading, I think it's somewhere here below, it's written that Krishna is concerned what he can do for us, how he can satisfy our needs. And what we are doing, we are thinking also how we can satisfy our needs. But this is what Krishna is saying. If you want to develop relationship, if you stop being self-absorbed, please Start serving me. So we have this relationship because Krishna is loving us constantly. He's giving us constantly. So this is, I think, one point here. Where is it? I don't know. I don't see it, but so that Krishna is constantly supplying us, waiting for us. And we feel that we feel lack of love. But the only reason why we feel lack of love because we don't give love. Because we don't allow ourselves to unmotivatedly, purely give love. We don't feel the pure love always available here. Always available. So Krishna is constantly, always in anxiety. He's in anxiety for our ultimate well-being. So he's not like, he's wishing, he's in anxiety. Although we have turned away from him, driven by own envy of his position as a supreme enjoyer, he continues to provide all our necessities. Wow, isn't that? How does that feel? How does that feel, Prabhu? Huh? So he's an anxiety for our ultimate well-being, and even though we turned away from him and we are envious of him, he continues to provide all our necessities. How does this make you feel? Loading emotions. Huh? Valued. Oh, yes. So much valued. Worth of something. And also, I really reflect on this as well, I was now living in the cottage in this, and every day I just look at this and I don't pay for these things. I don't pay the bills. I don't pay for Boga here. Everything is provided. I'm just trying to serve more. I'm grateful, and I want to use this to develop this relationship with Krishna. So it's as Navadip Chandra Prabhu today said, that we have to be in good mode of goodness so that we are being conscious to use all our senses in Krishna service constantly. Because in passion we are constantly just trying to get the results, but ultimately, my Guru Maharaj Chandramali Swami, His Holiness, said, it doesn't matter if you got the results or not. The end result, Bisha Prabhu, will be, they have these simulations. You have these simulations where you have to kind of do a task, and then you do the task, and they say but did you think of Krishna? No, you failed. You finished the tasks and everything. Huh? Okay. So this is it, You are finishing the task and everything, and then the end question that actually, this is actually the point of the exercise. Do you think of Krishna? I forgot Krishna. So, okay. So, the Nectar of Devotion, okay, so just a few more points. The Nectar of Devotion offers an illuminated summary of the Lord Krishna's spiritual qualities. By studying this great work, it is in a spirit of devotion, Nectar of Devotion, we read with devotion, we can enhance our appreciation for the Lord and thus develop a desire to know His sublime friendship. As the Brahmana Sumada Vipra came to him with a small piece of rice, and he was so satisfied with him. Just this story just melts your heart. Lord is also the great faithful and considerate friend. He will never abandon us or allow us to feel neglected. Although his propensity to love is so great that he desired to interact with countless living beings simultaneously, he can do so without neglecting even one of them. So it's like Vishal, if me and you are the best friend ever and I share everything with you, you know? I know, I'm really bad friend, sorry. We still will not be able to constantly be, you know, we will not be able to constantly be, but Krishna can. Krishna, with this separation, in this mood of separation and interaction and everything, he can constantly be engaged with all of us. It's like you know, you have a phone call, constant contact with the phone call of the most powerful man in the world, which is, you know, this is Krishna. Two more reasons. Another reason that God's friendship is the most desirable relationship is that it is eternal. In material world, we may sometimes form a relationship with another person that seems to be of sterling quality, but even that soon fades like a dream. So this is the point that, you know, constantly we have to repeat to ourselves. This is the place of suffering, and if it's not place of suffering, it is temporary. You know, it's like, even though if you are not suffering, this is only temporary that you are not suffering. And Krishna's friendship is eternal. Since we are all Krishna's servants, it is important for us to remember that any attempt to appreciate him must be attempting by a serving attitude. Attempt to approach him must be attempted by a serving attitude. I think this is a friendship also. It's like, it's not that what I can get from you, and this is what I actually found myself constantly seeing, what I can get from this, what I can get from that. But actually it's about giving, what can you give? And actually I found that I'm so empty. What I can give, I cannot remember, like so quickly I can think of what I can get. But what I can give, it's not so easy. You know, so I have to train myself what I can give. And probably I will try to give something which will not be beneficial, and I will have to try again and again until I actually learn how to give something that will be valuable to other persons. You know, I will write a poem and give it to Bishal, and you know, Bishal will be like, thank you. You know, it's like, maybe it's a nice gesture, but you know, what now? You know, but maybe if I can, I don't know, help you with your shloka test, maybe it would be much more valuable for you. So, like, understanding you as a person and being personal with you. You know, so just as the Lord, out of His kindness, is always busy making arrangements for His devotees' happiness. Krishna is making arrangements for His devotees' happiness. We must also try to act for His pleasure. This is the beginning of real love. So let's just be aware of how much Krishna is already being so much engaged to make us happy, to all secure all of these things, to bring us all these things that came to our lives. And let's just try to give something back. Let's just have this consciousness, okay, Krishna, let me give something back to you. You know? And he doesn't need a lot. A little attention during japa. You know, nice association with other devotees. You know, bowing down humbly. Yeah, thinking of him. Nothing much. He's really grateful. He's the most grateful. So, in summary, we were speaking the verse how Krishna gave this knowledge, sublime knowledge. He didn't speak to the brahmanas and mystical rishis and saintly people from that time. He was speaking it to the ordinary person who was on the battlefield, kshatriya, who was going to fight, Arjuna. Why? Because he was devotee of the Lord, and he was non-envious. He was his friend. And then we were speaking about the qualities of Krishna, how actually he is the original and pure friend of us. How he is non-envious, he's always kind and loving and always waiting for our well-being, always nurturing us, always arranging things for us. And to feel this love, we have to love back. Otherwise, that's why there are many so much depressive people that are just learn how to receive, but they never learn how to give, and they are feeling so empty. Because this is the other half of our hearts. We have to give without any motivation. The more pure it is, the more it's nectar. So, yes, is it? Any comments, questions, anything you would like to add? Vishnu Prabhu? Yeah. That's a good question. I get one thing came to my mind. Probably it's not the ultimate answer, but it's like I guess that relationship means that you are in my first plan. You know, I'm not in my. You are in my center. And then when you are in the center, you know, when we are in active beings, that means I'm doing something for you. Which is actually, and then not anything, but something that I want you to be happy. So doing things that makes other happy is service. Serving means to please. You know, so I guess it comes natural because I want you to be a center of my life. And this is what Krishna consciousness is teaching us. It's just not putting ourselves in the center. Just, how do you know that you put in your center? Your senses are crazy. And you feel like need for doing this, you know, I want to eat this, you know, like all of these things. And when you're in the center, at that moment, try to put someone else in the center. You know, then all your focus starts to shift to that. Yeah, that's it. Thank you very much. Amazing. It was amazing to prepare. I was panicking. I didn't know what to prepare. And Krishna was very merciful, so thank you very much. Yeah, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All glories to assembled devotees online and offline. Hari Hari Ribo. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Jai. All assembled devotees ki jai. Can you help me to take this? Let's Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.